Hello and welcome to Disappointment Chat today. With me, I have Alex. Who,
Heyo.
if you're wondering, Alex is not the disappointment. It's the fact that the six other members of the group are not here.
Same.
Anyways, recent anime news: Naruto is finally finished airing with a full total of 500 episodes. Not part one, part two, and three, I guess, because apparently Great War counts as part three. Anyways, with it, new memes have spawned, with Sasuke calling Sakura a filthy, disgusting whore, and that he'll leave her with Karen's child if she does not cook dinner, being an example of one. So,
I laughed, to be honest.
uh, and there'll probably be many memes to come of that because a lot of people hate Sakura. Um, a lot of people hate Sakura. Rip medic class. That was the case with Orihime, but Orihime is slightly less irritating.
Yes,
Actually, a lot less irritating. But
yes.
um, if we're gonna, I guess
Oh,
we can drop parallels now if you want to. Orihime versus Sakura. So Orihime has stayed consistent with her affection
yes.
for Ichigo Kurosaki from day one.
Also,
Or,
Origin is a lot cuter.
oh yes, that is also a determining factor.
Yes,
Um, like, and if you like big boobs, that's like a +9 right there.
yes,
Um, Orihime has a much less rough personality, is the term. She's ditzy, but she gets the grasp of how heavy things are towards the end of the invasion arc, which is where they head into the Soul Society. Because, well, quite frankly, Ichigo is getting his butt kicked by like everyone at that point. Um, however, she starts to fully understand the situation when she puts herself in a position to be a declaration of peace between Aizen and Ichigo, and it just doesn't work.
mm,
I mean, I have to give the girl props. She's got like no powers. She's just like, I don't want to see any of my friends fight. I don't understand what's going on, but I am going to stop this war. You can take me, Okiora. I take you up on your deal. And Ichigo's just like, but 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 I like you, Orihime. Get back here. And Orihime's like, no, I'm trying to stop a war. And then Ichigo's like, all right, time to start the war.
same.
And head captain Yamamoto's like, yeah, Ichigo, it's time to start that goddamn war. And Ichigo's like, I thought you weren't going to help, head captain. Head captain's like, are you crazy? This is a perfect opportunity. There's a bunch of teenagers running around in Hueco Mundo.
Same.
And then you get some scenes between Orihime and Ichigo. Finally, after like 2 arcs.
Yeah,
And she's just like, Ichigo, please don't get hurt anymore. And Ichigo wrecks Scream Jaw's face after that.
yes,
Because, Nell's like, Orihime, you do understand that you giving him dirty looks because he's a hall really does not help Ichigo's situation here. He's fighting to save you, and you looking at him like a monster does not help. And Orihime's like, that's kind of right, Lolly now. And Lolly now's like, I'm always right, Orihime. And Orihime's like, that's debatable, but Ichigo, please don't get hurt anymore. That's exactly how the conversation went down. Whereas Sakura gives Naruto almost no moral support until the Chunin exams. And that was only after. No, I take that back. She didn't give him much moral support even then. Um,
same.
she doesn't start giving Naruto moral support until I think the start of Shippuden.
Yeah,
She
that's it.
starts to like soften up a little bit on him towards the end of part one, but not nearly enough to where you can say it's really moral support.
Yeah,
Um, in fact, she gave more moral support to Rock Lee for that sake. She gave him flowers.
yes. I remember that.
And I'm like, oh, so you help Rock Lee, but you won't help the dude who literally has been doting on you since day one? I mean, it's not like he's fought to protect you or anything. Oh, wait.
Thank you, Japan girls.
Japan girls are like low key really bad most of the time. Shout out to Orihime actually winning best girl run. That happened.
Yes.
Um,
However, her competition was really weird.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
she had Nell,
yes.
and
But let's be real here. Is Ichigo really gonna smash a freaking demon centaur lady?
probably not. Who's like physically she's like 26, and
Hmm.
Ichigo's like I am 16 at this point in time. He is.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think Ichigo's a furry.
Yeah.
Um, you could claim that Ruki is his competition, but their relationship has always been brotherly, sisterly. Always. It has. And look at how Rukia treats him the entire time. She treats
Yeah.
him better than Sakura treats Naruto, but look how she treats him the entire time.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Um, however, that would be so. Her competition was uh, a slowly aging goddess, a
Yep.
centaur demon, and
Yep.
then a fullbringer chick who's not until like towards the very end of the race.
Mm.
That's her competition.
Mm.
Also, the fullbringer was a total tsundere, but I'd actually smash that tsundere, so props. Um, she was very virulently abusive to Ichigo, and okay, so there's a scene where Ruruka meets Ichigo for the first time because he's been brought into the fullbringer hangout, and she
Mm.
gets a good look at him, and she gasps because he's actually attractive.
Also, yeah. Uh, Shout out to compared to Naruto and Luffy for the big three, quote unquote. Ichigo is so much more attractive than both of them.
Yes. Well, I mean, let's compare it to some other big shonen titles. Fairy Tail. She's much better looking than Natsu. That's not even like a biased statement. Natsu's very moe.
Yes, well, Fairy Tail is very moe.
Yeah, he's definitely better looking than Goku, but that's like fine because Goku is very 80s, 90s.
Yes, Goku's like Goku has like no Bishi appeal at all,
Yeah, but
and
he's
he's not
supposed to
a
be.
holy character, but he's a manly man basically.
Yeah, I was supposed to say like he's a man's man rather than a woman's man.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Plus, that was 80s, 90s, so you
Mm,
can't blame the artist because it was like Texabishi. And then
exactly.
um, some other big titles. Well, Pharaoh is better looking than Yugi.
Yes, which
Um,
is surprising because they're more or less the same. It's literally just
yes,
Pharaoh carries himself differently, and it gives him so much swagger.
yes. But shout out to Yugi's new design in the new movie because that was swagtastic.
Yes,
That
everybody's design in the new movie was really swagtastic.
I was like, honestly, it was like the initial Bleach style to the new Bleach style change, kind of like, but in Yu-Gi-Oh form. Except
Yeah,
Bleach always had swagging clothes. That's the difference. They weren't dated by the '90s,
yes,
whereas Yu-Gi-Oh heavily was.
yes,
Um, uh, the fact that I'd actually smashed Taya after that movie disturbs me. That really burns my soul because she
yes.
should not be pretty
Also,
at
Taya's
all.
exit game, please.
Taya bails, and I'm like, you're leaving the sausage fest behind. Rip.
Yep.
Taya could probably have any one of those boys at any time she wanted to,
Oh yeah, no
and she's
crap.
just like, peace.
I like how in his yeah, even though Duke doesn't do anything, in his new movie design, they just took the Bishi, added Metro to it, and cranked it up to like 15.
He has Olivia's gloves from Awakening.
Yeah, I'm like this is 10 out of 10.
Duke does like three things in the whole franchise.
Yes,
He
But
duels.
the big thing is he's around for most of it after he's introduced, though.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do stuff, he's better than like Tristan and Taya, who really don't do anything but are just around most of the time. Like Duke actually duels people.
Yes. There's a scene where he has to deal with Tristan and Joey's sister, and he's like, I'm not as good as Joey, but I'm better than the normal scrubs in the group. I think if I duel, we have a shot. And Tristan gets wrecked, and Duke's like, well, whoops. Um, and then Duke bets everything on Tristan's face down. Because, okay, so Duke's deck is really dice gimmicky, which
Yep.
is really bad for duel monsters. Fantastic for dice monsters, but really bad for duel monsters, because the moment Duke screws up on one roll, GG.
Yeah.
That's his whole deck. You're like, if his rolls don't benefit him at any given time, he's wrecked. Duke's deck as a Yu-Gi-Oh game, horrible, too inconsistent. Whereas dice monsters, fantastic. Right? So he's still better than Tristan and Taya, but the worst duelist on the entire crew, which was Joey's little sister, is the one who beats the person they were dueling. Shout out to Joey's sister having no relevance in the movie, like they forgot she existed.
Yeah.
Because, she stuck to Joey like glue after she got her eyes back. Oh, and Duke and Tristan have a thing for her. And I'm like, that is Joey's blood in her. That is not okay. Do not stick your dick in that, either of you.
Oh, God.
But yeah, if we're going for the Bishi aspect, yeah, so let's see. Ichigo compared to, let's see, who else is a big shonen name? Well, early Ed, I wouldn't say is dashingly handsome, but when he lets his hair down and towards the end of the series, he gets more handsome.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
actually,
the thing about FMA is, the characters who are teenagers mature by the end of the series.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Mm-hmm. You see, I was like, the only other big shonen now left is Death Note, but Death Note's art almost literally trumps every single thing in shonen up to date period.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's Bishi in that show, so it doesn't matter. So.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, Saint Seiya is also 90s. Can't judge that. JoJo's. Ichigo is more handsome than all the boys in JoJo's combined. But that stuff's also been around since the 80s, so I can't hate, I guess.
Oh dear.
I think Ed with his hair down is better than Ed with his ponytail.
I agree. I like how our topic of discussion is who's the prettiest boy in shonen when none of the girls are around.
Yeah. It's who's the prettiest boy in shonen and nice girls actually winning love contests.
Yeah.
This is our conversation. Are we sure this isn't shoujo chat? What is this? Well, okay. I'm going to be straight with you. I hate romance, but I'm a sucker when the nice girl wins. Because, let's be real, the nice girls in anime are so nice. They tend to be so nice, and they just get abused and abused and abused. And I'm like, they're one of the 5% of the population who wants to have children, right? What are you doing?
Same.
That tsundere ain't gonna sleep with you.
Well, she might, but you're gonna regret it the rest of your
Oh yeah, you're gonna totally regret it. Shout out to Taya dressing like a hooker the entire movie. She had a turtleneck with no sleeves. Oh my god.
Mm.
I was like, Taya, I get that you're like hot now, but can you not? Also, her mini skirts though.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We had to pause the movie just to be like, this.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
She had some crazy ZR game going on.
Glad Aaron wasn't there. He might have like legitimately exploded full of well, bodily fluids all over the screen because that's his fetish. Um, deeply disturbs me that Taya's now smashing all. It's gonna bother me for the rest of my existence. Taya can't be hot. She's supposed to be that annoying girl who follows Yugi everywhere.
Yep.
Also,
Who
Seto.
Yugi wants to smash, but Pharaoh doesn't really care.
Yeah. Yeah. And she'd rather smash Pharaoh.
Yep.
That's the problem. Yugi is like, eh. She's like, he's got the same body, but I'm not a pedophile. Shout out to Mokuba Swagger. He got the Bishi too with the suit now and the tie.
Yes.
Oh my god. Shout out to Seto Kaiba being the most Seto Kaiba for the beginning of that movie. That was so much perfect Seto Kaiba. And it wasn't okay. So you see, Seto Kaiba is the Vegeta of that series, except if you took Vegeta, made him handsome, shout out to Vegeta, and then you made him not screw up every single situation he gets involved in.
Pretty much.
That is exactly what Seto Kaiba is. And in the first half of that movie, praise the Seto Kaiba.
Oh,
praise
yeah. It was
praise
fantastic.
It was, and whenever the story was told from his perspective, it just like jumped in quality all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
let's be real here, you know. It was nice to, you know, see all the, you know, Yugi and his high school friends, you know, but you see Yugi and his high school friends playing, you know, Where's Naminé?
Yeah, I've been to see him.
Yeah, you know, you have Seto Kaiba fighting the main villain for the movie, and you know, winning, but the main villain runs away.
Seto Kaiba was so BA this movie.
Yeah,
like when his life point stopped at 100, I'm like, what was his face down? What was his face down? And then we didn't get to see it because
yes, we got totally blacked because he still had a car down the field. It wasn't over. And Yugi was on the ropes.
Yes, Yugi, when he saw that his life point stopped at 100, he got concerned.
Yep.
He was like, Kaiba. And then Kaiba's just like, when Kaiba's like, I'm always ready, I'm like, that means he has a face down. That's exactly what that means, because Kaiba gets really salty when he loses.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I legitimately called the duel, you know, basically the turn before, because Kaiba pulled some bullcrap, and I'm like, there's no way Yugi's coming out of this. Yugi heart of the card bullcrap draws. And it's like...
It's a Seto Kaiba movie. They didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Let's be real. When you get older, you start to relate less to Yugi and more to Kaiba. Like...
yeah, I feel it.
A little bit, but like, alright, sure. Friends are important, Yugi, but also not living in the past, which is what Yugi does throughout the entire franchise, is what you're not supposed to do. Kaiba just wants to get his past gone. That's his whole thing. He wants the past to be resolved, whereas Yugi's like, no, the past can be unresolved.
Yep.
That's fine. I have my friends. Kaiba's just like, I like moving forward, and I can't move forward if I have the constant taunts of, it's time to get serious in my head, or it's time to duel, because poor Kaiba probably has PTSD of just the Pharaoh.
Of Pharaoh being bullcrap.
Yeah, because Every single duel Kaiba duels him, and there should be no way Pharaoh ever wins. Every single time. Because Kaiba has like this fail-safe strategy with like 6 face downs, even though there's only 5 spaces on the map.
Yeah.
And then Yuki draws 1 card and Dank Magician, and he's won the duel, and Kaiba's just like.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the only time that Kaiba beat Yugi when they dueled in the Duelist Kingdom arc? And
Yes, and he forces Yugi's hand.
yes,
That's the only time he's ever won.
yep,
And that was because Kaiba knew he was not going to win, but Yugi was the only one with dual chips.
yes,
Kaiba's like, I cannot let my brother stay there any longer.
yes,
Which is why Yugi let it go.
yes. Kaiba's just like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is how this is gonna go down.
And he walks back to the edge and he's like, attack my blue eyes if you want to. Do it.
Yep.
I dare you. If you do, I'll fall back from the explosion. And then the Pharaoh's like, must win. And then Yugi's like, holy crap, what do you think you're doing? And takes control back of his body. He's like, I surrender.
Yep. Yeah. Also, let's shout out to the movie, the new movie literally just being Battle City Arc. Kaiba
Yes, it was.
dual disc, right? Invites everybody to participate in the tournament, right? The freaking Gravekeeper Society, backstory gets taken into account. Millennium Item bullshit happens.
I like how Kaiba's just like, I'm going to power of science you because magic is bullcrap.
Yes.
I like how he summoned summoned Obelisk with his force of will.
Yes.
I was like, same. Whenever Yugi's like, you don't believe in the heart of the cards, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he believes pretty hardcore in every single Blue Eyes card he has in that deck.
Yes.
Every single time Yugi says it, I'm like, he has the utmost faith in Blue Eyes. The utmost faith in Blue Eyes.
Yes. Right. When Kaiba, whipped out Obelisk, this was literally, how this went down. Kaiba, summons Obelisk, right? Main villain guy's like, no, this is bullcrap. The god cards were sealed away. This is bullcrap. And I'm just like, did you mean your entire deck?
Yeah, his deck is pretty BS. But and he's like, the god card shouldn't even be a thing anymore. And I'm like, cue Jaden reference, because that's exactly where they are. They are literally under the dual school.
Yep.
The movie was so good until it decided to be like Battle City Arc.
Yeah.
Battle City Arc, but worse.
Like, low-key, the first half of that movie was excellent.
Yes.
But the second half was not as good, but it was still fun. The main villain's deck for this movie was like grade A, bull. Like literally every card in his deck like had 14 different effects.
Yeah, and then could create a different form and add other cards to hand, and then summon cards from his graveyard, and then come back, and then separate, and then reform into a better powerful monster, separate, come back, and then reform into a more powerful monster, and then separate, and then come back, and then destroy the other person's monsters, and then remove effects, and then reduce attack points to 0, and then would come back and form into an even more powerful monster.
Yep, and like, it's got like freaking level 3 monsters with 1,200 different effects, 300 attack points that can like neutralize all of your enemy's field.
His deck was like shonen and parodied, just the power escape.
Yes.
And they always come back. And through the power of friendship, they negate your effects. That's it. His deck was shonen parodied. I got it. That's it. That's it, folks. We can all go home. I found out the secret.
So Kaiba's just finally like, Obelisk is immune to your effect bullcrap, and these things are powerful, but not 4,000 attack points powerful.
Boom. Nukes.
Yep.
Diva's just like, oh my god. His name's Diva. That is super close to Diz. That is disturbing.
Yeah, so low key, the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie is like Kingdom Hearts X Yu-Gi-Oh X Moe.
X Teo, what are you wearing?
Yes,
I feel like Teo was just wearing that stuff just to wait for someone to say, "Hey, can I smash?" and she just say no. I feel like that's why she wore it.
and then no one does because it's a show about children's card games.
Yes. I was gonna say, oh yeah. So apparently, Bakura is actually a British boy band member. That's exactly
Yeah,
how he dresses.
yep. I like how Bakura has fangirls.
Yes, yes, he does. It's because he's like super handsome and super British, and his
Yes,
and his father was Super British Explorer 9000.
yes.
And I'm like, how the heck are you, Yugi, and Kaiba even Egyptian? How? Yugi's like Japanese, Kaiba's some unknown ethnic thing. Like he's unknown ethnicity. His brother, we don't even know if he's related to Mokuba. They were in an orphanage,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
Mokuba is Japanese. I
Hmm.
have no idea what Kaiba is.
Yeah.
No idea. Because he's got the brown hair that's totally Japanese, but he's 6'2".
Yep.
He's got blue eyes and porcelain skin.
Yep.
Yugi's white because the Greeks stuck their dick in everything in Egypt. Everything in Egypt. And then, like, Alexander the Great was like, hey, Greeks done yet? And he was like, they're like, yeah, Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great's like, well, I'm not. I'm smashing this princess. And they're like, okay, Alexander. Alexander had like 9 different wives, I think. And he
Well,
put
that's
them,
what happens when you freaking conquer half of the known world.
yeah, and he chose a wife strategically in each place.
Yes.
And I think the Egyptian one was just for fun. Because that was towards the end of his tour and he was heading back anyway. He was just like, whatever, I'll smash this Egyptian princess. Sounds good to me.
I can just picture Bro Scander, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Yeah, haven't had sex in a while. Hey, you princess, come over here. Princess is like me. He's like, yeah, you're being my wife now. And she's like, what? He's like, nope, just take it. This is happening.
This is my glorious conquest.
She's just like, please. Oh man, so many shonen are making a revival. And it's
Yes.
weird that they're focusing on old Yu-Gi-Oh though. Really weird. Like,
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure they might establish a new timeline with Kaiba's new dual disc now.
Be so game for that.
Um, what we need is now a movie from every gen in this new
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, also, if there's a new GX movie, Chaz has to do something, I swear. I swear it. He has to. He must. He must. I might cry if he doesn't. I need the Chaz it up in my life.
Same.
Also, apparently, his name is June in, like, Japanese, so, and they're not yelling June it up. I swear to God they're not, so I have no idea what they're saying in the Japanese version.
Hmm.
Also, who the heck names the kid June? But it's not a very popular Japanese name at all. But
Hmm.
whatever. Also, June Chaz. You could have just made it June with an E rather than just change it to Chaz.
Yeah.
But, you know, Chaz is swaggy, so it's all good.
Yeah. I like Chaz.
I love the fact that Chaz is, like, lost and beaten, like, every single character in the whole franchise in that part of the series. I love it. I just love it. Because he loses and then wins, and he loses, and he's like a 50-50 win rate. And when he was evil, he was stupid broken because he didn't use the Ojamas.
Mm.
So he just used his like Twin Eyes deck, and he was soloing in the season where he was evil. Because there's a season where he gets turned into like the Obelisk White
Yeah.
crew.
Yep.
That season he like wrecks Alexis, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
He like destroys her, and then she gets turned to white. And the only way Jaden is able to restore Chaz, because he decides to start with Chaz, I think, first, is by using the Ojamas against him. I watched it a long time ago now.
Mm.
I like GX though.
Yeah, I like GX too. It
A
was
lot of people hate GX. A lot of people hate GX.
wasn't that bad. It was for me. 5Ds is where it started to get iffy, and it's just because like this is a little too over the top for me. I liked it when it was more Magic and card games, but this is fine. Motorcycles and okay.
Well, GX was supposed to be in between area where they're slowly shifting away from Magic, even though there's tons of Magic in GX, just less so than in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
Because, it's the 10th generation of duel monsters.
Yep.
So, right? And it had various tie-ins, and I appreciated that, right? Like, it explained how the Egyptian cards were sealed up, and how they were all given to Kaiba. Shout out to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. How Kaiba has created... Okay, so the big thing about GXs is in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, Kaiba, the original priest, initially was creating his own institution to create super duelists to wage war against the Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
He does that in GX because he makes the GX schools.
Yeah.
That is the big premise of GX, and people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that 5Ds is actually the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Did you know that?
Why?
Because they claim that Yusei is the best protagonist.
Well, it wasn't bad, but I don't know.
I didn't like it more than GX.
Yeah.
I didn't. Or OG for that matter, because there's no Kaiba in that series. Like, there's Jack, but Jack, is a dick, but not Kaiba level.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as, oh man, Kaiba's so cool.
Jack is just savage, whereas Kaiba's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's just like, you're an idiot, and it's because I'm British.
Yeah.
That's essentially Jack's entire character. But towards the later seasons, after he no longer is really Yusei's rival, he kind of gets, there's a term for that, watered down a lot. Because he's no longer a jerk. He's just kind of jerky, but that's just because he's British apparently.
Okay.
Also, his secretary and the news reporter chick were always in a fight to smash with him. Always. Towards the later seasons. That's legitimately a thing. They really want to date him. Both of them. One's a secretary and one's a lowly news reporter. And Jack ends up giving more attention to the news reporter. And I'm like, oh man, your secretary is there for everything you do. And she's just a secretary. She doesn't have to deal with your crap. You're not even famous anymore.
Rip.
After he lost to Yusei, he wasn't famous anymore. Yusei only lost in flashbacks. You know that?
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
He never lost a duel. And I got into an argument. I was like, that's why he's not a good main character. He never loses. And he's just like, that doesn't mean someone's a bad main character because they have no struggles. And I'm like, excuse you? You realize he literally soloed... He literally 1v3 professional duelists with god cards. Not Egyptian god cards, Norse god cards. Yeah, those were a thing. And won, right?
I know that easy were.
The Norse god cards are almost as powerful as the Egyptian god cards.
Yeah.
And they were massive giant, and it became a shadow game by accident. And then Yusei is just like, this is something. I'm still gonna win, but this is something. Jack barely won, which is why I consider it a 1v3 because literally the buddy character didn't do a single thing that entire duel. It was a 3v3, right?
Yep.
Jack Crow. No, was it Jack or was it Akiza or Crow? Akiza or Crow. Either one of them got totally destroyed, and both of them are chosen ones. So that's already bullcrap, right? So both
Yep.
of them got destroyed. Jack got destroyed, but he barely won the match before. So technically speaking, you could say essentially you say 2v1.
Yep.
However, it's still essentially a 3v1 by the fact that, well, that duel didn't even matter and it still had repercussions later because the guy right after just like played directly off and just like what the last guy did, just wrecked Akiza's face. Or Crow, I can't even remember because both of them got the shaft that arc.
Rip.
Also, you know how Yusei's motorcycle gear isn't that skin tight? Neither is Jack's or Crow's. They're like leather jackets.
Yep.
Akiza's is super skin tight. And that's because she has big boobs, I swear. That's the only reason they did that. I was like, Akiza, who let you wear that? Come on. Did one of the boys tell you that you should wear that?
Same.
And the twins get completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. Oh, by the way, in the Japanese final season, the boy twin becomes the chosen one too.
Okay.
He gets the heart of the signers, which is bullcrap because that's like the seventh signer symbol, but whatever. I like him. I like him because he loses a lot. He's like he hasn't won a single duel in the entire franchise. I don't think.
Rip.
And if he did, it has to be in the Japanese season. You see, the thing about Leo is he is literally just the twin of someone who's special. So he has no special powers and uses a really gimmicky deck.
Mm.
So there's in part 1 he fights a dark signer and he's able to duel the dark signer, right? And
Yep.
like not get wrecked instantaneously. And
Yep.
one of the background characters is like, this kid is dueling a demon guy.
Mm.
This is impressive.
Yep.
And then like towards the end, his like heart can't just can't take the shadow damage.
Yep.
So he starts to give out because he's like a normal 10-year-old, right? So like he just like his heart starts, body just like, oh god, I can't take this, and like this is really painful. And so, anyways, his sister did what they did in the final act of the movie, the new movie.
Mm.
Just comes in one card solos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rip.
She's just like, hey, I have a mystic dragon. Bang.
Mm.
And Darkseider's like, no. Gets wrecked. Which kind of disgusted me because I was like, you couldn't give one normal person a win? Really? Really?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no.
That being said, even though I didn't like 5Ds all that much, I really like some of the cards they used in 5Ds.
A lot of the cards in 5Ds are good.
They're
They're
cool.
just
like
they're just so different than every Yu-Gi-Oh prior to them. GX and
yes.
Yu-Gi-Oh! OG
Well, they
had
were
like
all the same sort of rules,
mhm.
whereas, happen in 5Ds and everything's different now.
Yeah.
And that's probably, again, part of the reason why I didn't like it as much.
Well, that's where a lot of people stopped dropping off.
Mm.
And then after 5Ds came Zexal. That's where everyone dropped off. Actually, I know one person who likes Zexal. One.
Rip.
Arc 5, I know like 3 people who like Arc 5, and there's going to be a new season now of a different Yu-Gi-Oh! They went back to having characters that are Yugi's age, but they're not smart like Yugi. They're really kind of dumb, so like in middle school. So, MC for Zexal is 12. MC for Arc 5 is like 14. Jaden's like 15. Yusei is 18.
Mm-hmm.
It was a jump from like 13 to 15 to 18. And by the end of Yu-Gi-Oh, I think roughly Yugi's 14 or 15.
Mm.
And then by the end of GX, Jaden is 17. And then by the end of 5Ds, Yusei is 20. Yusei was really old compared to every protagonist.
Mm.
Which is why when he, it's funny because in Bonds Beyond Time, he comes and he's like, "Who are these kids?"
Yeah.
It's just, it was so funny because Jaden and Yugi are totally kids to him because Jaden was like 15 at the time, and then
Yep.
Yugi's like 13. So it's just like, these are little kids. What the heck? And I'm like, yeah, they could probably duel you without synchro monsters. So suck it, you say. But I think the characters with the most losses as their protagonists are Zexal protagonist, GX protagonist, and Arc 5 protagonist. Arc 5 protagonist is different because he is a dual performer entertainer, not a professional duelist aimer. Like,
Okay.
so essentially what he does is he does things for like the grand scale of things, so he won't always win. That's his thing.
Okay.
So, but in Arc and Zexal protag, he just sucks at duel monsters actually. At the beginning of the series, he gets a spirit that's kind of like his Yugi, but it's like androgynous and a ghost.
Okay.
So, and it teaches him how to duel better. But without it, he gets his butt kicked almost every single time until the end of the franchise, where he starts to actually get good at duel monsters. He's the only character who was not good at duel monsters prior to the beginning of the series.
Okay.
That's why my one friend says, like, he was like, "Oh yeah, he's relatable," and I'm like, "Nah, man, he's a loser." MC is not supposed to suck dick at duel monsters.
Let's be real. OG Yugi was good at duel monsters, but he wasn't tournament tier good.
Yeah, he was in the tier of all those people he was beating, like Weevil and
Yes.
Dino Kid and Mako Tsunami. Like, all those people were like Yugi tier, not Pharaoh tier.
Yes.
That was the problem for them. Kaiba's like half a tier below Pharaoh tier, but Pharaoh gets that half tier from being bullcrap.
Yes. Totally. He there's like Pharaoh tier, Kaiba tier, then like people who have Millennium items, and final boss is approaching Pharaoh tier, because the final boss is
yeah, the final bosses
and lose to Pharaoh basically is what happens.
Kaiba can play ball with a lot of the final bosses, but he just can't.
That's why I said
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's that little extra bullcrap that final bosses have that steal it.
Yeah.
If I'm repeating something, it probably means I agree. I'm not trying to steal what you said. For GX is weird because Jaden's good at dueling, but he's been known to lose at very important times in the series. He loses to Aster Phoenix and loses half his soul randomly. Right?
Rip.
In the third season, there's a duel that's riding on everything, and Jaden just flats out loses, and he becomes the main antagonist for the half of the rest of that arc.
Rip.
Right? So he loses his soul, becomes evil, right? Becomes the evil emperor. Then there's like one of those side characters, like a Maku Tsunami character, right? That was introduced at the beginning of that season, right? He beats Jaden. Well, actually, he ties with Jaden as a main villain, and Jaden gets turned back into the good guy.
Okay.
Like, that just doesn't happen. He wasn't even like a Joe. He wasn't like a best friend. No, he was a Mako Tsunami type character, a side character that had to beat Jaden because he was the only one good enough left. Because everyone who was good had lost already or was dead, right?
Yeah.
So like that's why they needed Jaden back so bad. Also, Jaden as a main villain is super broken because he's just super savage with his entire deck. He runs like banned polymerization cards. So like they were stupid broken. Then Jaden comes back and then he sacrifices himself at the end of that arc. And then he reveals that he fused with the final villain of that arc in the next season. which is
Yeah.
why in Bonds Beyond Time he's with Bell.
Mm.
Yeah, Jaden was a normal student until he fused with her. He was literally just a normal guy. But Jaden's ancestors was a knight, and then Bell was his guardian angel, who then
Okay.
became a demon after it died, I think. Which is
Okay.
why it's half and half.
Mm.
And that's why Jaden has this sense of justice, but not like in your face sense of justice. It's because his like ancestors were knights.
Okay.
Probably implying that he was not Japanese at all either.
Same.
Yusei's dad is actually Tristan confirmed. No, I'm kidding. His great grandfather was Tristan. I only say that because they share the same voice actor. They live in the same town, and then like there's certain things that Tristan does, and I'm like, are we sure he's not related? He has a motorcycle, first of all. Second of all, he's a mechanic, and his father was super advanced with tech, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, low key, this is a crack theory, but Tristan could be Yusei's ancestor.
Yep. Let's be real though. He's the love child of frickin' Tristan and Diva.
Yes, yes, he is. He totally is. I stopped it and was like, that is Yusei's other father.
Has science gone too far?
There was one woman involved in two men at the same time, and that was the result. That is exactly the result. Oh man, yeah. So 5Ds takes place in the same town that Yu-Gi-Oh takes place in, and GX went to Yugi's town.
Mm.
Jaden met Yugi's grandpa, thought he was cool, and helped him out for that arc.
Mm.
I have no clue if the newer ones are anywhere near Yugi's hometown.
Okay.
Because it's Domino City, and then
Yeah.
New Domino City, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the newer ones are in Domino City as well.
Mm.
Where's that time space tournament arc, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Do it.
Let's be real here. I would watch the hell out of that.
Everyone would watch it.
Mm.
That would actually probably be the first time I watched Yu-Gi-Oh in Japanese. Yeah. Yeah, it would.
That is begging to be written. You get the older fans to care about your new characters, right?
You get the newer fans to go for like Jaden and Yusei because they have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
They've been lost to the sands of time. Like you ride Yugi's dick. They do that. That's what the franchise does. They do that, right?
Yep.
However, the amount of attention that Jaden and Yusei get is like minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bonds Beyond Time was a big thing, but that was like half a decade ago now. Yeah, I think that was 2010. Or like 2012, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The younger kids who are watching the newer Yu-Gi-Ohs are probably like, who's Jaden? They'll know who Yugi is just because Yugi's relevant by getting a starter pack every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas Jaden, even though he has cool monsters, doesn't. Him and Yusei got one 2 years ago.
Okay.
However, it was manga Jaden and gimmicky Stardust Warrior Yusei deck. It wasn't faithful anime decks.
Yep.
So yeah. The Stardust Warrior deck doesn't even come with Stardust Dragon now. I was like, oh. Well.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
kind of disappointing.
However, the manga Jaden still had Neos, thank God. I want all the ace monsters. I want all of them. It's funny because Neos, Blue Eyes, Dank Magician are all normal monsters, but
Yep.
have support because reasons. Well, actually, technically speaking, E-Heroes have way more support than Dank Magician, so do Blue Eyes more than Dank Magician. But,
Well, Dark Magician has a lot of Dark Magician-esque cards that aren't explicitly Dark Magician.
Yeah.
but synergize with Dark Magician really well.
Yeah, you can make it a themed deck, but it's not a structured deck.
Yeah, whereas Blue Eyes is an archetype, you know.
Yeah, so is E-Hero.
Yes. Whereas, if you're going Dark Magician, you've got like Dark Magician Knight, some Dark Magician fusions like Dark Paladin, Dark Magician Girl, and
You
that's
run
about it.
You have to run Buster Blader in there somewhere to protect you from the blue eyes.
Yeah, but that's for the Dark Paladin.
Yeah,
You can also do Time Wizard for Dark Sage, but yeah,
Time Wizard's so risky.
yes, Time Wizard's a terrible card. Let's be real here.
His effect in the anime is significantly better. You target one monster and age it so that it gets sent to the graveyard.
Yep.
So much better in the anime. So much better.
And then as an actual card, it's just like I don't want to use this. It's it's
Well,
it's a 50% chance that you change the course of the entire duel, or a 50% chance that you're like, oh, I lost.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a card where you have nothing in your hand, nothing on the field. You're like, you know what? Let's go.
Yep.
That's it. I have to do this. But if you're going to be doing that, just run Umi with
Yes.
Daedalus.
Because it's 100% chance.
Just to ruin your enemy's entire life.
Yep.
I can't believe that's in the phone game. Oh my god.
Yes.
You can get 3 Umis and start with Umi with Maku Tsunami. You have Daedalus, you can do it up to 4 times in one duel.
So busted.
Yeah, it is.
Oh dear.
I usually like to wait until I have the second Umi in hand so I can play it the moment after I clear the entire field.
Nice. And then just attack directly.
Yes. It feels so good to activate his effect. So good. Because you just clear the whole field and you're like, hey guys, guess what? You thought you had hope. That's more than half your life points right there, though, which is stupid broken. I think it should at least be raised to 6k, but...
Yeah, if you're going to allow that kind of crap.
Yes. Because...
I can't wait until they add Neo Daedalus.
My god, it's going to be so broken.
Daedalus better.
Yes. And higher attack. It's going to be literally 3/4 of your HP.
Yes.
They really need to change it to at least 6,000 or something. Something. Because these, they're fast, but I don't like getting 2-turned.
Yes. Also, shout out to in the movie, they were dueling with 8,000 life points.
Yes, that makes me so happy.
It was so good.
Yes, it made Kaiba's duel significantly better, because if Kaiba had 8k, he'd be winning every single duel because with modern rules.
Yes. Because Kaiba invented modern rules.
Yes, he did. Pegasus was going off basically Egyptian rules, though.
Yes.
Because back in Egyptian times, they didn't want to kill you, so they didn't attack you directly.
Yep.
They're like, we wait till he gets another monster out, and then they'd stop the duel because Egypt, it's a game, you're not supposed to be murdering someone, unless it's Bakura. Then Bakura wants to kill everyone. Bakura is the one who killed Dark Magician, forcing him to become a card.
Yeah.
Dark Magician's 8th monster was Dark Magician, and then he had to fuse with Dark Magician to survive, and Dark Magician Girl had to take care of him as a stone tablet after that.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that's why Yugi wanted to kill Atem wanted to kill Bakura so bad, because flat out essentially killed one of his best friends.
Yep.
And then I think Dank Magician Girl to join her master became a card afterwards too to serve the Pharaoh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Pharaoh's negligence just caused so many problems in ancient.
Yes, this is true.
Card games to realize all the bull crap that was happening.
Hmm.
Well, stone tablet games.
Yes.
Kaiba even blames the Pharaoh for his waifu dying. Because he was in
Mm,
love with this girl called Maiden of the Blue Eyes. You know that broken card that special summons Blue Eyes White Dragon?
yes,
He
the one
actually,
that's a tuber, and then you can immediately freaking synchro into
yes,
super defense synchro blue eyes thing.
yes. That girl who that card's based off of
Mm,
was totally Seto Kaiba's girl in ancient Egypt.
mm,
She gets killed
mm.
by slaves. And because she knew he loved her, she gave him the ability to summon Blue Eyes, which was her guardian spirit.
Mm.
Which is why modern Kaiba is so obsessed with that card, because I don't think she can be reincarnated as a person.
Okay,
He doesn't know it, but that's passively why.
okay, I feel it.
That's why he freaks out when someone uses his blue eyes, because that's his wife. He's essentially being cuckolded, essentially. When Joey uses a blue eyes against Kaiba, because Kaiba summons two of them, Kaiba
Mm.
literally destroys both blue eyes at the same time by using a special spell, and then summons his blue eyes back with Monster Reborn. And he's like, no one is allowed to use blue eyes but me.
Rip.
And then Joey's like, chill, it's just a card. And then Kaiba's just like, I wouldn't expect you to understand, Wheeler. You know, yeah. The Kaiba versus Joey fight is really funny because, like, while Kaiba is there, Duke and Tristan are like, yeah, you did good. You did good, Joey. It was a good duel. Don't worry about Kaiba. But the moment Kaiba left, Tristan and Duke were like, dude, you got wrecked.
Same.
Like, because Taya and Yugi were elsewhere. They were
Mm.
talking to Ishizu. And Joey's like, hey, you guys, you ditched me during my duel with Kaiba. And then Yugi's like, sorry. And then Taya's like, sorry, Joey. And he's like, I really needed you. And then Duke and Tristan are like, nah, man, all you did was miss him getting wrecked super bad. That's all you missed, guys. And Joey's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So that, you know how if you beat Joey in the game as Kaiba, Kaiba says, there's no need for celebration for defeating Joey Wheeler. I could have done it with my eyes closed. He says that in the anime
Same.
when he beats Joey. And he walks away with his eyes closed to prove it. Rokuba's like, there's no way Joey could beat Kaiba. He's a good duelist, but essentially that
Mm.
entire duel was because Joey wanted to prove himself to Kaiba. Kaiba still didn't
Yeah.
respect him afterwards. It was intense, but you knew Kaiba had to win. There was no way he was losing to Joey and still being a relevant character.
Yes. Exactly.
That was actually probably the best skills Joey displayed throughout the entire franchise in that duel.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, rival duels are so much better than actually in shonen anime. 10 rival fights tend to be significantly better than MC fights because there is no subconscious plot armor that goes in when the writer is writing. There is only, well, rival can lose and MC can win later.
Mm.
Or rival can win and then villain comes back stronger and MC helps out rival. There's just so much more potential. Unless you're Renji, then you always get wrecked.
Same.
Though, is Renji or Uryu the real rival? Probably actually Uryu, but
Mm.
yeah. Technically speaking, they're the actually Uryu and Renji are the two halves of a rival. Renji like stubborn, just like rival, right? But refuses to
Yep.
accept that he's like Ichigo. Uryu super swaggy, right?
Mm.
Cooler than MC.
Yep.
I got removed from the Xeno chat group. Oh no, never mind. Oh, I was like, you got removed from the Dragon Ball Z group, and I was like, excuse you. What? I'd like to think I'm a pretty avid fan of Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of rivals, Vegeta has never beaten a main villain.
Rip.
Do you know who has beaten a main villain? Gohan at 11
Ooh.
years old, Goku, and Trunks. Even his son defeated a main villain before he did.
Rip.
Yep. So, alright. Now I'm going to talk about DBZ for a little bit. Now, hear me out.
That's
Alright, so, there was this post on Google Plus. Sorry for all you viewers who probably gonna hate me for this. Anyways, it said Vegeta should not be scared of the God of Destruction, who could potentially destroy the universe if he wanted to. Did you hear that? Destroy the universe if he wanted to? You heard that, right? He sneezed and destroyed a star once by accident.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Just establishing that. He's the God of Destruction. Yeah, right.
Yep.
So, like, Vegeta should not be scared of him, because Vegeta's not scared of anyone. Now, I'm going to go back to the first arc where Vegeta was not a bad guy. The Frieza Saga. He was a rival of that arc, / antagonist, not actually a villain. Right? He fought Frieza in his final form. Guess what Vegeta did? Cried. And cried. And cried.
I see.
He cried versus Frieza. Even Beerus did not make him cry.
Mm.
Are you telling me he was not fearful in his life the moment he started crying? Because he totally was. And then he talks, so after he's crying, he gets over it. He gets beat up, and then he talks back to Frieza. Frieza just kills him. He's like, I'm done with this. Nope.
Mm.
And then Frieza kills the healer, Dende, and then Frieza tries to kill Piccolo. But Piccolo survives because he's got super regeneration, and then Frieza kills Krillin. Frieza killed like the most relevant characters without like blowing up the planet and the entire franchise. He's just like bang, 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 dead. And they're all like, and MCs are like, oh, well, this, oh, that's not okay at all. Oh my god. Right? So, later, Beerus pimp slaps Bulma after Bulma slaps Beerus. Beerus was totally in the right there. He had every single right to hit Bulma. He just taps her, and she gets sent flying, right, and unconscious. Vegeta freaks out and starts attacking Beerus. He gets over his fear because Beerus hit Bulma, and Vegeta starts talking his Vegeta, usual Vegeta crap, and then Beerus one-shots him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're telling me that he has no right to be scared of, well, someone who could possibly destroy his family and him because he got slightly pissed, I'd say that's a little bit of reason to be scared. But, you know, whatever. That's just my opinion. I mean, it's not like Vegeta's just a filthy goddamn monkey, whereas he's the god of destruction. Oh, wait. That's exactly the case there. So there was a meme where Trunks is being taken to the movies by Vegeta, and Planet of the Apes is there, and Trunks goes, hey, isn't that our heritage? And the caption was, Trunks then learns how far is too far.
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, that's... Ooh. Okay, so the Battle of the Gods movie is actually a fantastic movie. Even if you don't look at it from a DBZ fan, like if you don't look at it from a DBZ standpoint, it still stands on its own pretty well. However, they decided to make an anime and readapt it. The anime's version is quite bad compared to the movie version, which is usually the exact opposite of what happens. Right? It only takes place in the course of a day, whereas the anime makes it feel like it took place over the course of a month. Because it's like so long. One of the reasons it's the best movie is, well, first of all, they introduce characters not necessarily evil, but gets super pissed and tries to blow up the planet. Goku fights him. Goku becomes a god. Goku gets wrecked and doesn't come back. Does not come back and win that fight. That fight is so good because Goku achieves god power, and at the end, he's talking to Beerus, and he goes, Beerus, I'm sorry I can't beat you. You really are a powerful god. And Beerus is like, that's all I wanted to hear you stupid Saiyans say. Now I'm going to blow up your planet. And then Goku's like, no. And then Beerus like blows up like a boulder, and he's like, hey, look, I blew up your planet. Bye. And then Whis and his angels like, he did technically blow up your planet, just a very small part of it. And they're like, thanks, Beerus, for not being a total jerk. Also, his voice actor, his angel's voice actor is Okabe, and he's super flamboyant, and it's fantastic.
Okay, that is pretty great.
Yeah, his angel is like so great. I feel like everyone's like, oh, why is his angel gay? His angel's not actually gay. He's just super flamboyant and has lipstick. That's his only thing. He never shows interest in men. He just wants to eat food. He's a connoisseur. In fact, in the game, him and Beerus have connoisseur stats, right? They have there's like a link for them, and it says connoisseur. So Beerus will blow up your planet if your food sucks.
Same.
Like, there was this one planet he was on in the anime, and he's just like, well, your food's okay, so I only blew up half your planet. And the chefs are like, what? And he blows up half the planet. Other times he'll be at a planet, he's like, this food's disgusting. Taps his finger, entire planet explodes.
Rip.
Yep.
Deities, though.
Yes. Oh, man. We don't get too many cool deities in anime these days. They'll just get wrecked. That's just usually what happens. They either get wrecked or they're in a harem, so they already lose points. Because let's be real, harems are essentially parodies of stories you want to see.
I guess.
Because think about it for a second. There are so many fantasy harems of stuff that could have been good, but they're harems.
Yeah.
So many things. And I'm like, I actually want a series about this, not a harem, but okay.
Yeah.
And the series just tends to go to the harem route. You're like, well, I mean, if you're going to be showing that much boobs, just do a hentai for the love of God. So, like, because I don't like harems, and I don't like Ecchi too much, unless it's Keijo. I love Keijo. Keijo's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Free is pretty good, too, for, pseudo love boy ecchi yaoi bait thing.
Yeah.
Because Haru's not really... Haru's actually asexual, and only attraction is to the ocean, but... Shout out to MC. His green-haired friend is, like, kind of gay.
Yeah.
And the Shota is baity, because he's a Shota.
Yeah.
And then his rival has, like, tensions. Whether they're sexual or not, I have no idea. Because he's just so angry. He, like, beats Haru, and Haru's like, okay. Nice swim match. And then rival still gets pissed. One of the best things was when they went to, like, Home Depot, and he tried to, like, dive into the fish tank.
Yes.
Another thing is when his green-haired friend walked into the bathroom, he's like, are you bathing in your swimsuit again? He's like, yeah. And he's like, you should stop doing that. And I'm like, so are you going in there hoping to see his, like, stuff out just all hanging free and loose? Is that what this is? True. And then he cooks in his swim gear. And he sleeps in his swim gear, and he wears it under all his clothes. So he can always be ready to strip and jump into water. And I'm like, this is an anime. It's pretty great when you watch it in tangent with Keijo, though. You just see both sides of the spectrum at once. My favorite thing was like, hey, maybe it's that fifth guy who's going to join the group, and you're like, he hasn't even been introduced yet. Same second we say that, he pops up on screen talking to MCs.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, well, that's a thing, too. There's only one girl in that series, and that's so all the girls watching can just project themselves onto her.
Same.
You notice how we're going back to talking about free and none of the girls are here?
Yes.
The stuff we watch is quite interesting.
Yes.
I'm a straight male, but I will always prefer aesthetically pleasing men to ugly men in my anime. But that's just me.
Dank.
Also, it also makes shipping guys easier with girls because, well, you know, if you're ugly, there's a pretty grill, and you end up with the pretty grill. I have problems with this usually. Because the tsundere gets MC, and tsundere and MCs are usually everyman. Like, the term everyman, everyday man, right? And pretty girl usually gets the shaft or gets the ugly or annoying dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, she's pretty and nice. She doesn't deserve him. She needs better. Which just doesn't happen. Which brings me back to the topic of nice girls never winning. Nisekoi, which is a show called False Love, and it was a harem. I read the first chapter of the manga. Within the first chapter of the manga, I established that nice girl needed to win. Nice girl did not win. Tsundere won.
I see.
Yep, and they... You see, the thing about Nisekoi is MC apparently made like 9,000 promises with different girls when he was a little boy. He was a player. He promised almost every single one of those girls to come back and marry them.
Rip.
And I'm just like, why? And he has no memory of his childhood. I guess because it was so traumatic because he was drowning quite literally in women. That if they would have the key to unlock his locket, and like every single girl introduced had a key.
Yep.
And I'm like, why? Why is this the anime? The first season was good. I watched the second season, and I'm like, this is just too baity, and they're focusing more on the tsundere. I'm out. I actually like the tsundere more when she didn't like him. Because the whole premise of the series is the tsundere's dad is mafia, and MC's dad is Yakuza. And they have to pretend to date so that the Yakuza and Mafia don't kill each other, because the son of the mob boss and the son of the Yakuza boss, the daughter of the mob boss and the son of the Yakuza boss are dating.
Yep.
They hated each other. He called her a gorilla for most of the series in the first season. For her birthday, he bought her a gorilla with her name on it.
That's funny.
And it was so funny when they didn't like each other.
Mm.
And then as the series progressed, you know, he ended up liking her and she ended up liking him. Yep. And Nice Girl, who liked MC, said, okay, this is what kills me. MC had a crush on Nice Girl. Nice Girl had a crush on MC. They've liked each other since childhood. She's one of the girls he made a promise with. Guess what? Every time he tried to confess to her, it didn't happen. Finally, in the final chapters, she confesses her love to him. Guess what he says? Sorry, I love Chitoge. Which is the tsundere.
Rip.
He crushes the Nice Girl's dreams, and in that moment, I actually have a meme of that, and it's like, it's the captions, and it's him and her, and the Nice Girl is at the bottom, and MC is at the top, and MC's like, in the picture it says, he said that he'd always stay with me, and at the bottom it shows the girl, and she's like, that was probably the funniest joke he's ever told me.
Rip.
I died. Because that's exactly what that series was. He was trying to smash Nice Girl and date her for the entire first season. Actually, even marry her, for that matter. And it just didn't happen, because apparently Japanese men just love their abusive tsunderes. And I'm like, I really don't understand Japanese men. Yeah, I was going to say I don't understand Japanese women. I was like, yeah, they flock to pretty boys. I understand that. But the Japanese men will just choose these flat-chested tsunderes with no redeeming qualities, other than the fact that they have twin tails. And that's only a weird fetish. I don't even like twin tails. So I'm usually just sitting here like, why do you like this girl? Why? She's not nice. She doesn't treat MC well.
Mm.
She tried to choke him with a belt and not in the fun way. I was waiting to see if that joke would hit or miss. Thank you, Alex.
It's dang.
When I tell jokes like that, it's always a hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, should I go through with it? That one was slightly raunchy, but not too bad. I
Yeah.
don't like trying to go through with raunchy jokes because they are really hit or miss, and I don't even like telling them in the first place. That one was just too perfect because it's Cinderella's.
Yeah, I understand.
Um, oh, by the way, warning: if I'm angry, you'll know because I get really coarse. Fan base. Alex knows how coarse I get. I
Yes.
get really bad. I remember we were playing to drop the Cinderella thing. Remember when we were playing All Random Herb and Rome starts choking when he hears the stuff I'm saying when I get pissed.
Yes.
He's like, "That's really bad for you," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm angry, so I don't care." Now, anyone who might listen to this later is like, "What the heck did you say?" All right, so we're playing All Random Earth, and I'm going to quote myself. If I wanted to
That
be
AIDS.
yes, which is also what I'd get if I did what I was actually describing. If I wanted to be bent over like this, I'd go to the streets of New York at 3 a.m. in thigh-high boots and a mini skirt with no shirt on.
Oh dear.
That is what I said, and Roma starts choking.
Mm.
Then I'm like, I feel like I'm getting whipped and not in the fun way, and Rome chokes again.
Mm.
He's like, you don't even like that. And I know. I was like, I know. But I was doing it for joke's sake. Because if I tell jokes like that, I'll try to like not be angry, but I'm still steaming with rage. I hate that game mode. It reminds you why you hate League of Legends, actually. Because
Yeah.
everyone low-key hates League of Legends when they play. They like it, but they low-key hate it.
Yep.
Right? All Random Earth just reminds you why you hate it. Especially when you play with friends.
Yes.
Because you'll always have that one friend, Cough Rome, that makes you continue playing.
Yep.
Past your...
Like, the next one will be good. The next one isn't good.
I like how literally everyone in the party was like, that game was trash.
Yep.
Every single person. That one guy who wasn't in call with us. Well, I wasn't in call with you, but I heard everything that was going on. And Danny was like, why is he saying references to what we're saying right now? In the chat, because I type in anytime Danny and Rome had one of their fun little interchanges, because they had those.
Yep.
I type a response to that. And it wasn't until like the 5th game that Danny realized that I was listening. Because Danny's like, don't ever say spicy again. And I'm like, Rome can say... I said something along the lines of like, ooh, that's spicy, Danny, when Danny died. And Danny's like, why did he say that? And Rome is just like, oh, he can hear everything we say. We're in call right now. And he's like, what? I heard the entire Bachelor conversation. Now we've lost the viewers, so we have to stray off of that. Okay, so back to Cinderace. Okay, so speaking of Cinderace, let's pop open the new anime season chart. We're not going to read all of it because I want to save reading all of it and more thoroughly reading it when Kira gets here, which is never. Probably next week, though. So this is what the episode's supposed to be about. So if anyone listens, I might put in the description what time to skip into. If you're like just here for the Annie chart thing. Okay. If Annie chart wants to load. Oh, god dang it, don't do this to me. Alright. This is what the whole video was supposed to be. But You see, we've been adding filler conversation because Kira decided not to show up.
Yeah.
I know Kira doesn't talk people who actually still watch this, meaning Yashiro and only Yashiro. Yashiro listens to us, by the way.
Shout out to Yashiro.
Yeah. A couple of Manny's friends do, because, well, they all think I'm hilarious, but I need to have a filter, is what they say to me, because I'm blunt.
Fair enough.
My dad has been calling me blunt since I was a fifth grader, so that that's that. But yeah, those are our viewers. I'd like to expand a little bit, but this is
Yeah.
just fun as it is.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
need.
though it's just us like a good 30% of the time.
Yeah, I love Kira. I love British Senpai. I love Day. I love Manny, but they all make me want to kill myself sometimes because they love bailing on me. I
Mm.
swear I'm a pregnant mother or something by how frequently they bail on me.
Oh man.
Fun fact, the only reason I even know Day or Kira is because of Anichat.
I see, I see.
I know Manny because, well, he was my neighbor for 10 years. I know British Senpai because, well, I made it open to the public. She was one of the people who responded, and she's Hanabi's friend. She's my friend
Oh,
now, too.
perfect.
Alright, so let's
Mm.
see. I'm going to pick a couple random things that we can just talk about. Maybe let's look at the movies, actually. And then we can talk about the anime with Kira.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
movies, there's going to be a new Fairy Tail movie. Also, apparently Fairy Tail is going to be ending soon.
Ooh, I approve.
SAO is getting a third season, however, unfortunately.
Why can't I just have nice things that have consequences?
Also, I'm pretty sure Fairy Tail and SAO are animated by the same studio.
Hmm.
Yeah, A1 Pictures is a bunch of different animation styles. Okay, so the movies are Fairy Tail Dragon Cry, literally no description. Shows Natsu with dragon wings and an arm. All right, the next movie is Mahoka Koko no Retausai movie Hoshi no Yobi Shoujo. Huh.
That's
That is a
quite.
man. That is a man, not a girl, so I have no idea why it's called shoujo. And the description says it's a sci-fi supernatural. Nowhere does it say shoujo. All
Okay.
right, so a movie adaptation announced on the jacket of the 19th volume of the light novel. Magic is a product of neither legends nor fairy tales. Instead, has become a technology of reality and since time unknown to people. Supernatural power became a technology systemized through magic, while magic became technical use. A term supernatural power user became magic technician.
Hmm.
Magical technicians, in short, magicians, oh, are nurtured through magic high schools and universities. Well, okay, that's the premise. This story is about Tatsuya, a defective elder brother lower achiever. Miyuki, a flawless, perfect younger sister high achiever. Wait. Is this... This sounds just like Irregular out of Magic High. Hold up. I swear, if this is Irregular out of Magic High, I'm going to kill myself. I hate that anime so much.
Okay.
It is Irregular out of Magic High.
Rip.
I was like, if this sounds familiar. This sounds too familiar. When it said little sister, I was
Hmm.
like, no. Also, MC is not defective. He's completely broken.
Okay.
That's a lie. They try to play that, but he's like one of the most broken characters in the anime. Period.
Okay.
I hate the anime so much. Also, his little sister wants to screw him so hard, so hard. Like the thirst is like it like trumps Chloe sometimes.
That is. Hoo boy.
Also, they live together alone. Yeah.
Huh.
All right, I hate that anime. Though a cute girl named Isis told me to watch it, and that's the only reason I gave it a chance. I don't talk to Isis anymore. Yeah, don't take that out of context, Joshua. I know you will. I know you will. Um, but yeah, that was a girl whose number I got randomly in a bookshop.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to do that. Just randomly get girls' numbers in bookstores. But yeah, I was picking up an index novel, and then I picked up a girl. Hey, and I. All right, so since I'm talking about picking up girls, and there's only like, oh my god, we're getting a free movie.
Oh, okay.
We have to finish the anime now, Alex.
Yep.
Okay, so um, story. I told you in Rome, and you in Rome gave me the third degree for this. Me and my dad were in GameStop and we are buying a game, and our clerk lady sounded exactly like Kaname Chidori from FMP. Exactly.
Uh,
She's like a couple years older than me, and you in Rome were like, why didn't you get her number? And I was like, because I was like with my dad, and you're like, that hasn't stopped you before. And I was like, I was just too excited with the game in my hand. Like, because I was buying a 2DS. I was buying X and Y.
yep.
Like, I was legitimately too hyped to care about the pretty girl who sounded like Kaname in front of me. Oh yeah, bonus point, she was pretty.
Okay.
So, yeah, you heard that, ladies. When it comes to Pokemon,
No.
when it comes to Pokemon, you get second place. Hey. Okay. Now on to my now off of my failed exploits with women. Let's go on to blame the movie. In a distant technological future, civilization has reached its ultimate net-based form. An infection in the past caused automated systems to spiral out of control and become Skynet. No, I'm kidding. Resulting in a multi-level city structure that replicates itself infinitely in all directions. Wait, what? So basically, a glitch in a computer has now caused a city that built itself to infinitely build itself in all directions.
Okay.
Now humanity has lost access to the city's controls and is hunted down and purged by the city's defense system, known as the Safeguard. Oh my god, it's totally Skynet. In a tiny corner of the city, a little enclave known as Electro Fissures is facing eventual extinction, trapped between the threat of the Safeguard and dwindling food supplies. A girl
Hmm.
named Zuru goes on a journey to find food for her village, only to inadvertently cause doom when an observation tower senses her and summons a Safeguard pack to eliminate the threat. With her companions dead and all escape routes blocked, now the only thing to save her is the sudden arrival of Killy the Wanderer. Killy. Ah, nice name. On his quest for the net terminal genes, the key to restoring the order of the world.
Okay.
Sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Alright, Yoru wa Mikashi Arukeo Otome. Is this an Otome game? It's a comedy romance, so probably. The protagonist falls in love with Otome. Oh, okay. His junior in a college club. College club? Oh, okay, never mind. And struggles daily to be noticed by her. However, Kurokami no Otome is naive and unsophisticated and is completely indifferent to him. Oh, it's a common play on how girls fall for boys. Okay. This comical love fantasy depicts funny and interesting daily things that happen in the city of Kyoto. Alright.
Okay.
Biohazard Vendetta. I'm going to send you the link to the site, by the way.
Okay.
See, folks, Alex sent me a Unagi link, but since we're in a call, I can't look at it just yet. Because then you'll want to see it. And you won't get it because it's Munagai. Well, maybe Yashiho will get it. Okay. Biohazard Vendetta. Capcom announced on the Japanese website the Biohazard / Resident Evil on Thursday will feature a feature-length Biohazard CG film. That's it. The rest is just staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a completely original story. Okay. Yoaki Sugero Luna Uda. The story takes place in a harbor town where a gloomy middle school student named Kai meets a mermaid named Lou. That's it. That's a whole description.
I ship it.
Yuki Yuno wa Yushi de Aru. Washi Yosuma no Sho. That's Yuki Yuna is a hero. Washio Sumi is a hero. That is from one of my favorite magical girl series, and it's going to be the second movie in the Washio.
Okay.
Um, Kyoto Animation will be making free Timeless Medley Kazuna. First
Okay.
part of free Timeless Medley. I hope it's not a recap movie.
Yeah, that'd be Sad Boys.
There's going to be some specials. Monster Strike 2, the second season of Monster Strike. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Oh no, Strike Witches, Brave Witches is getting another thing. Because we need more lollies with boobs showing, right? Like actual tits and everything. Okay, Yume Aokaku to Nemeru Meru 100 Ni no Oji-sama shorts. What the god forsaken? A series that is aimed towards women with the theme of a romance with a prince that every woman dreams of. Except lesbians. The game lets players experience love with 100 princes who live in the kingdom of dreams. Players solve puzzles to wake up the princes from their deep slumber. What the god forsaken? That is something. What's with all the sports animes and being metrosexual as heck?
Same.
I don't understand. Let's see, I might pick one random thing to talk about for the next upcoming anime season.
Okay.
Anything? Oh yeah, I'm not going to talk about it, but the new Yu-Gi-Oh is coming out next season, as well as Boruto, I think.
Okay.
Just a new generation. Okay, Kato of the Right Hand. Unfortunately, it's going to be CG, and I was so hyped for it. Probably means it's going to be trash. My oh my. Anything interesting? Man, there's a lot of weird slice of life stuff. And ecchi. Okay, this is the one I was going to watch about the furry and the cute girl. Zero Kara Hajimeru Maho no Sho. I already read the description of that in a past video, so I'm not going to read it again. However, what I am really hyped for is Rage of Bahamut Season 2. So hyped.
Okay.
Rage of Bahamut's based off a phone game. I didn't know it was based off a phone game until I watched the anime and then played the phone game. Phone game pissed me off too frequently. It got removed from the App Store recently. Yeah. And with that, that has been this full episode of Anichat. Come back next week, hopefully, to get a actual thing on the stuff we're supposed to talk about, rather than all the girls in my life disappointing me, forcing me towards asexuality and anime girls. If I become a herbivore man by the end of Anichat, do not be surprised. So, that has been Anichat. With me today has been Alex.
Indeed.
And it's just been Alex, so I'm just going to end this call. Bye, guys.